Hello and welcome again to our family workshop. Now today we're filming on location. We're actually in the shed. So this is behind our family workshop, and this is going to be a little bit of a background then, give you an insight into behind the scenes and what happens when preparing for different projects. You may hear some background noise, so apologies for that, but we got bees and birds and things like that. Hopefully it'll add something extra to the video. So the project we're working on today is pencil and pen holders. And this is something that we've made at different times. We've made it years ago, but this is just to give you an insight into that upcoming video and to share with you some of the process of how we get to a finished product. Because the first thing that happens, because we made this years ago, this is the original design, and the first problem is we've forgotten how we made it. So that's not an uncommon thing for ourselves, is it? We're trying to work out.
It was a long time ago, so you did.
It's a long time ago, so we can't actually remember how we made the original, and then we're working out the different stages. But quite often now what we do with our videos, we look at things that we've made in the past, and our equipment that we've got available to us, it's changed over the years. And so we start to look at how we might be able to make it easier, how we might be able to improve it in some ways, and how we sort of adapt it to suit what equipment we use now, things like the scroll saw that we use more. So...
Well, I think one of the important things is that when I started 40 years ago, time...
We weren't under the same pressure of time.
Time was always long. An hour 40 years ago was a lot longer than it is today.
There we are.
So...
I think if you could come in a little bit as well so we can see you better.
Okay, I'll repeat that. As I say, 40 years ago, an hour was sort of that long. An hour today is about that long. So, time seems to have shortened.
Well, we're always under pressure, aren't we?
And it's all down, time is money.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, you want me to make a stand? If I make it in the old style, I know that's going to be difficult for everybody else doing it, because you're going to have to rebate, you're going to have to groove that out, make the waves with another drill, plus then drill in the hole, and so it's sort of inefficient then, So
and
we've got to make it more...
Well, this is what we were working
slick.
out. We were working out, how did we do this? So we worked out, that it was 3 drill cuts down into the woods, and then you're cutting a rebate then inside a groove.
That is, yeah.
Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, and that allows then whatever design you want to drop into it, it allows it then to drop in.
You can put a pen.
Clever little bit of design.
Pencil.
But what we're thinking of then is how can we make it slightly easier?
Yeah, and I was also conscious of the cost as well.
Yeah, because you can, it's the thickness of wood as well. What have we got available to you? So this is what we sort of work out. So we've got a few different designs. This one here, you can see, is like a hedgehog design with 3. That's not going to be a big problem.
Simple, straightforward.
That's a simple, straightforward design.
Bingo, bongo, another one there, perhaps, and it sort of holds up.
So you've got the 3 in there together. Pick that one up.
That was clever.
And so,
But that's simple, straightforward. But this is slightly more complicated because we don't want to just use a big block of timber like that. We want to use timber that we're not going to use for anything else.
Yeah.
And anybody else sort of thinking, I got a bit of spare wood, it's been in the shed there. Like I've looked, the first timber I was looking at was beech.
Yeah.
And we don't use very much beech.
Not now, no.
For love spoons. I then had this old flooring. It's oak, but it's flooring, and because it's got a groove in it, it's not going to be good for much. The love spoons, we can make some love spoons, but
it'll only be thinner love spoons that we can make.
So I'm thinking we can use that. We can use then.
But what we've been working out together is we've suggested maybe doing it in 1 piece of wood, maybe in 2 pieces of wood, and maybe even in 3 pieces of wood. So we're working out before we start the project what's the best way to do it. And when if you see the other videos, so the other video will be uploaded to our channel, we're going to share with you 3 methods that you could consider making a pen or pencil holder. And that's always the idea of our videos, is to think of simple methods and techniques that you might use and to suggest ideas for products that might be useful and that you might possibly be able to give as gifts and be able to sell.
I know a lot of people will go to the drawing board and they sort of draw it out, and that's one way of doing it.
Yeah.
But I've always been sort of practical and wanted to get into it straight away, get into the wood, and I'm quite prepared to sort of waste a little. I shouldn't really, but I'm prepared to waste a little bit of wood to get to the end product. And I think if you're using just one piece of wood, it's number one, that's good, because one piece of wood you're only handling one piece. At the same time, it's complicated, so we're looking to simplify it.
And we're giving suggestions then
Yeah.
for how you might be able to make something like this best for the equipment you've got and the way that you work. It works quite well, because in the early stages then, Dad's, what it is that I'll say, I want to do a video today, so Dad will start preparing the woods and I'll start getting designs together. So that is the process.
That's right, and that's what happened this morning. I came in the shed here to start doing what you wanted.
Yeah.
And then, of course, once I started it, I thought, this is complicated. I've got pieces now to make more.
And what will happen, see, is I'll give Dad a suggestion. Oh, we can make it like this. And then when you're looking at the wood, sometimes that's not going to work for a particular reason. So that's the idea of this video, is to just give you a little bit of background on how we work, how we get over the problems, and how we then get to a finished product and a finished concept that hopefully will work, so we can share it with you.
On the thing, right, I think if we work on this principle, right?
Yeah.
It's a square. Got my tape. It's a square, size-wise, 1 5/8 or 40 millimeters. 4 centimeters. Okay.
40 millimeters.
So 40 millimeters, 4 centimeters square. Simple. That would make the bulk of the piece. We'd be able to drill a hole in the back
for the pens and pencils.
And then, if we cut this old, this is old flooring that we were given, in fact, we'll make that as the
feature on the front,
and the waves. So then the fish
will go just behind.
We'll go just behind that when we slim it down. So we'll have the wave effect in there. We'll have the fish planted on there, showing up a little bit higher, and then the hole will be drilled simple. I can see that now.
And so this is what we do. We're trying to visualize how it's all going to come together. So that's one of the methods that we're going to use.
Yeah, and that would make a fish, and it would also make. We got another idea.
You were talking about a seahorse.
Well, so that's a dragon.
Yeah.
You know, we used to put
little badge.
A little badge there.
In there.
So that's why that was drilled out. But that's the same principle again, sort of that we can use using just 2 pieces of wood. We'll be able to come to the same effect as that, but that much easier, I think. We'll see.
So there we go. That's just the sort of thought process and how we develop ideas and products. Hopefully that's interesting. Hopefully it's useful. If you like this, don't forget, give us a thumbs up if it's useful. If you've got any questions about that process that we use for developing a product, for designing, put it in the comments section. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell if you like what you see. And thank you all for watching.